Hi everybody, welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez, breaking down the Age Group Online Qualifiers. Today we're going to look at the 50-plus age groups, and every year I say to myself, I'm not going to be surprised when I look at the results. And I said it to myself this year, but I am surprised at how well these athletes did at the challenges we threw at them.
And I'm just as guilty as a spry 31-year-old man. I think
I
I want to try these workouts, and then I see the performance from these athletes in these divisions, and I'm like, maybe I'll hold off from embarrassing myself.
We're going to go through each leaderboard. We're going to start with the women, and we go to the 50 to 54 age group. And the defending champ looks like she is the woman to beat. Shelly Eddington takes it with 18 points. It's her second Masters Online Qualifier win. 4 women who are outside the top 20 qualify for the games, but man, Eddington is going to be tough to beat in Madison.
Yeah, so consistent across the board. She's last year's reigning champ. She has all of these workouts inside the top 5. She has an event win in workout number 3. She did so well on everything from the muscle-ups to the handstand push-ups to being able to sprint. You just look at it across the board, and she's set up nicely to win possibly back-to-back championships.
55 to 59, and it's Mary Beth Prodromides with her second Masters Online Qualifier win, but she had a big battle there with Clark there in second place. Prodromides also going for her 4th Games title.
Yeah, she's one of the best in the business when it comes to Masters competition. Similar to Eddington, also won workout number 3, but look at workout number 2. A 54 rep improvement from when she'd performed this workout a year younger last year when it was 16.2. That's amazing.
And finally to 60 plus, and it is Patty Faya who runs away with this thing. Her 9 points, the lowest of any Masters qualifier. It's the first year for her in this age group. And Lydia Beer also qualifies. She's going to her 6th games, but Patty Faya is on a tear right now.
What a difference a year makes with a new division aging up into the 60 plus. She dominated the Open with just 10 points. She dominated the online qualifier with just 9 points behind 2 first and 2 third place finishes. In my mind, she's the clear front runner and everybody else is just battling for second.
Let's look at these 3 divisions as a whole now. And the one thing that stood out to me about the workouts was workout number 1 when we had all those muscle-ups in there. And I thought we would see a handful, maybe, of these athletes get some muscle-ups. More than half of them were able to get themselves up and over the rings.
And not just any half. We had some athletes in the 60-plus division get some muscle-ups as well, which is the first time that we've seen the 60-plus female athletes have to do muscle-ups. It was required in this workout for their competition. And if you look at some of the top performers in each division, Patty Faya got 5 muscle-ups at 60+. Jennifer Kemp, 17 muscle-ups. Mary Beth, 15 muscle-ups. And Bianca Williams got 15 muscle-ups in just 4 minutes. At 56 years old, that is a fantastic performance.
It's always hard when you are on the outside looking in after the Open because you take your Open score with you. If you're outside the top 20, it's tough to get yourself into the games, and that proved true here because only about a 1/6 of the athletes who were going to the games were on the outside looking in when it came to the Masters Online Qualifier. It takes impressive performances to get there. Who impressed you the most?
Well, for me, it's Nella Forte, who moved up 18 spots from 36th in the Open up to 18th. And if that name rings a bell, the last name in particular, that's because she's the mother of one Rob Forte, who's a multi-year Games vet. In the Open, she had 3 finishes of 58th or lower, so we consider those bad finishes. But in the Masters Online Qualifier, improves all of her finishes of 30th or better, including a clutch performance in workout number 4, 5th place. It was the difference maker. She only had 14-point cushion over 20th place. That 5th place finish moves her up into the top 20, sends her back to the games.
There is so much impressive stuff to talk about with these age groups. What is the one thing that really jumped out at you when you looked at these leaderboards?
For me, I love running stats, especially consecutive streaks, and it has to go to Lynne Knapman.
Yeah.
She just qualified for her 8th consecutive CrossFit Games. If that stands out to you, or if you're not familiar with the Masters competition, that means every single Masters competition we've ever had at the Games, Lynne Knapman has been there. Nobody else can say that, and she puts her right up there with some of the best, Becca Voigt and Ben Smith, who hold the longest records in the individual competition. She's right up there and embodies longevity in this division.
Let's move over to the men's side of things, and we will start with the 50 to 54-year-old age division. And a familiar name that we need to talk about there is Ron Ortiz, who's going to his 7th games. He's tied for 2nd all-time with Scott Olson. But it is it's Kevin Kester who gets the win in the Masters Online Qualifier. He won workout 4, and this guy went, Tommy, from 14th all the way up to 1st.
Yeah, an impressive jump, not just to to be in the mix, but to actually be in first place overall. He must love the short workouts because he was second in number 3 and he was first in workout number 4, both of those in the less than 7-minute time range. But then he's kind of an interesting case study because he must love dumbbells because he also did very well in workout number 1. He finished 4th, and then the open he had 2 seconds in both the dumbbell workouts. Might be one of the few people that was stoked to see that 50-pound dumbbell come back up.
On to the 55 to 59-year-old division, where we have a great lineup of past elite masters. Will Powell is going to be going for the 4-peat here, but it's Brig Edwards who wins. He took workout number 1 and he scores a total of just 24 points.
Yeah, and consistency was key for him. If you look at the top all 20 qualifiers, every single one except for Brig had to finish outside of the top 10, and then 18 of the 20 qualifiers had to finish outside of the top 20. Brig was the only one to keep them all in the top 10. He's finished second twice, been on the podium 3 times. This could be finally the year where he wins.
Finally to 60 plus, where it is David Hippensteel who wins by 30 points. Scott Olson finished 11th, so he's going to his 7th games and looking for his 4th Masters championship. But Hippensteel gets 2 workout wins and he never finished lower than 4th.
Yeah, he had the most dominant performance of any Masters in any category, I would say, in this competition so far. That 4th place was his open finish, so in the workouts he actually performed 2 first place finishes, 2 seconds, 17 muscle-ups in workout number 1, and then he won workout number 2 by an impressive 81 reps. Nobody was even close to him.
When we looked at the women's side of things, we said it was tough if you were outside the top 20 to get in the Masters Online Qualifier. It wasn't as tough for the men, as more than a third of the guys going to the CrossFit Games were on the outside looking in after the Open.
Some impressive jumps in particular, but one that really stood out to me was Donovan Carroll. He was 56th after the Open, manages to work his way all the way up into 20th place and is now going to the Games. If you look at workout number 1, he had a bad finish, 87th, but then the rest of those 3 workouts, all in the top 10, which was key because he didn't just finish 20th, he finished in a tie for 20th, and those 3 workouts were the tiebreaker that ultimately punched his ticket to the Games.
Workout 1 got a lot of attention because of all the muscle-ups there at the end. Now, no one in these 3 age groups for the men finished it, but there were still some extremely impressive performances put up.
Yeah, a ton of muscle-ups performed across the board. And you look at some of the best performers across the 3 divisions in the muscle-up workout. Kurt Stein, 33 muscle-ups, only won 30 to get 30 or more. Brig Edwards, Eric Bruder, 25 apiece in the next division up. And then this one might be the most impressive to me. John Mariotti got 20 muscle-ups in the 60-plus division. That alone should impress you, but if you look at his tiebreaker, he finished in 13:57 the other parts of the workout. That means unless he was standing just underneath the rings and hopped right up, he had a little bit less than 6 minutes to complete 20 muscle-ups. You extrapolate that out to 30 muscle-ups, which is a big benchmark for us, then you possibly have a 60-plus male athlete completing 30 muscle-ups for time in less than 10 minutes at the end of a terrible workout where you saw 100 dumbbell snatches, 80 row for calorie, and then another 60 bar facing burpees.
I shouldn't be shocked by that by now, but I am, and that is incredible, and that is just one of the many incredible things that you see in these age groups. Again, what is the one big thing, though, that jumped out at you?
And this is probably on the other end of the spectrum, and I almost feel kind of bad bringing it up because we're always so positive. But 2 of the 3 open winners in these divisions did not qualify for the CrossFit Games. And that speaks to what Sean said earlier about just the level of parity across the board. Steven Skosik, he won the Open. He had a 66th in workout number 1, 115th in workout number 4. Both of those featured high skill gymnastics, so that could have been the trip up there. And then Marcel Stokely only submitted 30 reps in workout number 1, then didn't submit any other scores. So hopefully he's not injured, but Marcel, if you are, hopefully you get healthy and maybe we'll see you again.
And congratulations to all the athletes in these age groups who are moving on to the CrossFit Games. Can't wait to see you all throw down in Madison, Wisconsin. Tomorrow, we will be back to take a look at the 35 to 49-year-olds, and we're also going to break down the teenagers after their online qualifier as well. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we'll see you next time.